friends. Quite amusing.
Yeah, I was so glad that Ola was at the end of the table because, like, if Liz had been at that end of the table, so she'd fucking freaked out. But like, obviously Ola has to put up with you, so she's used to uncouth bastards.
Where's this tab then? So I'm streaming now. Broadcasting.
Yeah. So then you click on the Creator Studio.
Yeah, I'm in live
And then you
streaming.
click on the left, you click on live streaming.
Yeah.
And then in the middle, it says offline.
Yep.
And then to the right of that somewhere, there's...
No, it's in the middle. It's in the middle.
Yeah, it says Kerbal.
Right, streaming now.
Yeah, then you can send me the link. So I got the link by clicking on...
There you go. It's in the thing. I got it already.
So cool.
So you should be able to...
Oh, dwarf porn. Come on, mate. It says this stream is offline, but then it says streaming now in the middle. Oh, I wonder if that's because I'm catching
a bit of
up.
time to buffer up, I think, maybe.
Yeah, it does say live.
Yeah.
So at the moment I can see Whiplash 450 stream now. I can see the main screen in the middle.
Yeah, you can see the YouTube screen, right?
Yes.
You should be able to see my lunar lander soon. In a stark contrast to the object that you're trying to put into space.
I want it to be called the Behemoth. No, mate. It says the stream is offline. Oh no, hang on. Oh no, I've got it now. I've got it now.
You see it? Should be on.
Oh wow, it's picking up our Skype.
Oh yeah, you got to mute the live stream.
That's so weird because it's picking me up as well.
Yeah, I know. You got to mute the live stream, otherwise it'll drive you mad.
Okay, quality's not tip top actually. Let me just see if I can boost it. Ah, there you go, 720. Oh yeah. Oh mate, that's actually really good.
What? The quality?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's certainly not your lander. It's tiny. So that's a lander for gays.
Yeah, you see the big long tank?
Mhm.
Yeah, that got nearly empty, and there's a little tank at the top.
Right. Okay.
I should have done the fuel transfer a lot earlier.
One did. Yeah.
Because
Hang on. Where did he? Are you land that whole thing as a long thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Let me just go and get my popcorn from downstairs.
Well, buckle in, because it's about to get entertaining.
Oh, it's quite weird watching someone else play.
Oh, there's nowhere flat, and it's getting worse. Quick. This is not really good. I get the feeling this is not really good.
Well, you're still at 15,000 feet from me, so it's fine.
But you can watch it all in glorious HD.
Oh, it's just catching up a little bit. Why don't you change your nav ball to the surface? You still got yours on orbit.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a difference at this point, because I don't really need the nav ball too much, because I'm just,
I'll look to see how much speed I've got off though.
It's the same, the speed range is the same.
Oh, is that?
It's only really when you're on the way up that the orbital really makes a difference. Or if
How the fuck are you going to land this? This massive thing is going to topple over, guaranteed. Oh, you've got loads of RCS in it though.
Can you see the? I think you can't. You can see the fuel gun.
Yeah. Yeah, you got loads of fuel left.
Yes.
You're down to 180 meters a second on mine. See, why don't you just hit the retrograde button and then Thingy will keep it exactly where it needs to be.
Because where's the fun in that?
Well, the fun in that is that you get to land on the moon. Without crashing. Well, you've got a docking port on the top of that as well.
Yeah, that's so I can get back to my my pod that I've left in orbit around the moon.
Oh, it's a two-stage lander. Nice. Oh, here we go. Cheeky fuel transfer. 6,000 meters above the moon.
I ain't getting caught out again though.
There are little Kerbals running around the command pod.
We're not going down as much as we should be. Come on, gravity.
I don't know if you've done this in 30 seconds, but at some point you definitely want to extend your gear.
You not heard it just happen.
Oh, have you just done it? Yeah. Ah, there we go. So did you do that with an action group?
No, just G. G will do the gear for you.
Okay. This is the most ridiculous looking rocket I've ever seen. It's like fucking Button Moon.
Mate, this is how I do all my landings.
What, with a full-size rocket?
How else do you fucking
You're
do
mocking
that?
my rocket, my little squat rocket.
Your squatter. I don't know how that doesn't break up on contact. At least I don't get Jet to do the fucking chauffeuring.
I tell you what, it's a good job you got loads of fuel, mate. Kerbal bands, the most geeky bands known to man.
Oh, looks like he's gonna run out of RCS. What a twat.
Oh mate, look how much monopropellant you've used. What a dick.
Yeah, could have done it with less.
I'd have been on the lunar surface by now, mate, getting soil samples.
Yeah, I just don't want to hit it at fucking 17 meters per second.
No, that's fair. On the thing, they can handle about 7 or 8 meters a second, can't they? Those struts. Never something I'm overly keen to test. See, at this point, it's really useful to put retrograde on Jebediah, so you can concentrate on
I just
land.
landed it first time like a fucking boss. Get out.
Well,
And topple over.
you haven't on mine, so you might not. This is Schrodinger's landing. In fact, if I switch it off before you land, I could just assume that
It
you
never
crashed
happened. Mate, I'm fucking.
That is a good landing, I'll give you that. That's a top landing.
A little bit of
Bit of wiggle.
little bit of a wobble afterwards when I turned the stability off.
Oh yeah. Oh, when you took the thingy out, yeah. I suffered with that a little bit when you take the when you take the Kerbal out of it, and he's hanging on the side,
Oh really? Good God, yeah.
and
that'd
it'll
be
pull it
scary.
over. So just beware if you do decide to.
I'd turn the RCS off, but leave the stability on. I think would be the way to do this. And what other experiments have I got? See, I've got a little
I
experiment.
recommend go
Use
quickly.
one of these things, the little experiment thing. You'll see it
Yeah.
in a bit.
100. Is that 100 science? Nice.
That was 200 science for the big for the
Oh yeah, of course.
pressure gives me 96. So. Observe the mystery goo. That's another 80. We've done the report already, haven't we? Can't transmit.
I'd say before you exit, by the way, mate. What's that?
What's what?
Is that where you keep all your stuff?
Yeah, I was going to say, have you not used one of these before? And you said, oh,
No.
yeah. That's where you keep all your delicate experiments in there so they don't burn up on re-entry.
Oh, that's cool.
And explode off your fucking side of your ship.
Nah, just bolt mine to the side of the pod, mate.
Yeah, that's what I used to do.
That's quite cool. Is it heavy, that service bay?
No, it weighs fuck all.
Okay,
If
I'll do
anything.
that. I'll do that because it's fucking cool as well.
We're now on the surface.
Are those RCS fuel tanks, those circular ones on the outside?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Monopropellant tanks.
It's funny the things that you use. Oh, mate, he hasn't even toppled it.
Solid as a rock.
Solid as a rock. I'm actually quite surprised at that because he's really high up there.
Yeah, but all the weight's on the bottom, that's why I did the fuel transfer.
Yeah, that's true, of course.
Because of what I didn't do last time, which is I couldn't even keep it upright with the bloomin'. Admittedly, it was on a much steeper slope than this, but I couldn't keep it upright. I could just keep it upright by permanently holding my finger on the bloomin' S button on the thing for the.
Yeah, they are a bit jammy, aren't they, depending on where you land. Second lunar landing.
Tricky bit's getting back in because it's a bit high.
Don't forget to take your surface sample, mate.
I've done it. I'm back in. Let's close this shit up. Yeah, what you can see up here though, classes it as debris.
I used a canister instead of a.
Yeah, see, I prefer the canisters because they got flat top and bottom, so you can inline it with loads of stuff easier.
Plus, they weigh about a bloody tenth the amount as well.
So you should be able to see me now do my launch, but I've got that's a bit of a chancer on the fuel though.
Hey, well, why's the Earth got all funky cool stuff around it?
Huh? Oh, have you not seen my stuff?
No.
Right, I'll zoom out. This is my This is my
Have you got mods?
no mods.
Oh, it's your satellite network. Oh, sweet.
I don't know if you can see it yet. Can you see it?
You're still looking at the moon. Give me a second. Zooming in. Looking at your spaceship. Zooming out, zooming out, zooming out. There you go. Ah, nice. Oh, fuck me, mate. That's wicked.
Yeah. So
That's so clever. So two on the longitudinal, one. Oh, okay. That's so cool.
So even on the dark side of the moon, relative to Kerbin, you've still got contact with one of the satellites, hopefully.
As long as it's in that massive loop, yeah. So potentially you might not at a certain point, but usually
well, with only two like this, you've probably got some blind spots somewhere. But I'm going to expand it probably to include a third or a fourth, to double it in the 90-degree type of thing.
That's really cool.
But I actually only did it less so. I'm less worried about getting a blind spot on the moon, but more because I wanted it to extend slightly out past Minimus, so that I wouldn't get a blind spot on Minimus.
No, that's true. That's wild cool, man. That's a good idea. Like, they look really symmetrical. You've done pretty impressive with that.
Yeah, they're not too bad. I just eyeballed it in roughly. They're roughly, they're done roughly. Really, not too bad. But it's the stuff on Kerbin that's actually I'm proud of. It'll come up in a second, but you can see my my two orbits on Kerbin.
Sat 2, Sat 3. Oh, wicked. Mate, that's really cool.
So the one
Fuck no, you've got those spot on.
The one on the top is Survey 1. That's the one I put the survey module on, the scanner module.
Okay.
And then the other one, so that's the polar orbit, right? Because it goes over the poles.
Yeah.
And then the other one is just the 90-degree gravity turn orbit.
But that's your space station, isn't
That's
it?
like,
the other one as well.
It was meter perfect. That was the original one. So the original one was KSS 1.
Mate, that looks fucking absolutely spot on.
Yeah. So imagine the horizontal one was where I built my space station in orbit, and then I had to move it to the other one, basically.
That's quite impressive.
And I was just like, I'll just crash it into the planet because it'll be quicker. It was heart wrenching.
Yeah.
But I left the KSS 1 in orbit there, because I turned it into the refueler basically.
Okay.
Because
Has it got docking ports on?
if
Yeah.
if I switch to it, you can see it should come up in a minute. So you'll be able to
Say
see.
again?
It should. I've just switched to the KSS control one.
Okay, I'll tell you when I get there.
So basically, what I did was I put an additional crew module on the front of the 3-man control pod with 2 radial attachments to put on extra docking ports.
Nice. Yeah.
Because there's radio. Oh fuck! It's the sun just gone behind the blooming thing. So the 2 extra, you get 2 extra docking ports off that. So what I did,
That's pretty fly, mate.
if you notice, also I put an extra docking port on the bottom, in the middle. I could detach the engine if I wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, and put another one on if you wanted to move it somewhere else.
In the middle bit, so that gives you because the science thing to unlock that 4-way. There's a component that's got 4-way docking ports on it, basically, or 4-way mountings on it. But it's at the very top of the tech tree, like it's the most expensive item. Whereas you can actually make one just by using a bit of. Technically, it doesn't even need to be a crew module. It could be a little bit of the fuselage module.
Yeah.
With the radial mount points on it, and then stick the docking ports on them.
That's pretty cool, mate.
And you can create so basically I had the bit with the science lab bolted onto that.
Oh, I see.
Right, and then I was like ready to scan, and the game was like, nah mate, you need to be in the polar orbit, and I was like, okay, let's Google what that is, polar orbit, and I was like, oh my god,
It's not even funny.
and I was like, well, it could be doable, let's make a maneuver node, and it was literally just like it couldn't have been, the only thing that would have been more difficult would have been to burn, to change my orientation, to change my direction of travel around the world. I think would have been the only thing that would be more difficult. To literally do a hard stop and then go the other way. That would have been the only thing that would have been more challenging than switching orbits by 90 degrees. It was just fucking ridiculous.
That's well impressive, that, mate.
Thank you very much. It was.
Give you get 10 points for that.
It was a little bit of fun. Right, let's get this bad boy off the ground. Jeb's buckled in. We good to go, and see, this is the thing about which way is up. Oops. Oh, I just cut the engines on the ascent. That would have been funny.
Oh, AFK a second, mate. Hello.
Hello.
It is, so I was just saying goodnight to Erica.
You might be able to watch my ascent. If you want, you can watch my docking thing. I don't know if you've done a lot of docking, have you?
I did that in my last game, and it was alright. It's fucking hard, man. But yeah, I was alright there.
I'm just about to do one. I just got to catch my orbital module back up. Extend that orbit out. Can't travel more than 50 times while below 25,000 meters.
Oh, 24-second burn is loads.
Well, I had enough fuel to get back into orbit. That's literally perfect. Like I've got about 10% fuel left.
Oh, really?
Pretty cool. I had a bit of fun getting off the planet with like you literally got to eyeball it to find out which direction to burn in.
Oh, to come out of the same.
I was my orientation on the nav board was like 180 degrees the wrong way around. So I had to make down, up, and up, down, use Q and E to rotate round, to go in the right direction, to make right go the right way round, you know. So that was exciting because you can waste a lot of fuel on your ascent if you're just, you know, if you're if you balls it up, just end up burning and like putting yourself in an opposite orbit to, like, if you especially, it doesn't matter too much if you're literally just like, right, let's get back to Kerbal. It doesn't matter at all. But if you're trying to match up to get back to your second stage that you've left in orbit,
Yeah, it's got to be spot on, isn't it?
it's get yourself in a bit of bother with going around. If you could start going the opposite way around the planet, because then to rectify that once you're already in orbit, that's a proper delta V right there. Because the moon's pretty easy going. To be in an orbit around the moon, you could be going about 500 meters a second, which is not too bad. Whereas on Kerbal it's 2400, roughly.
It's quite fast, isn't it?
Yeah, but just, you know, but to burn, if you're like, shit, I'm in the wrong orbit on the moon, it's 500 to stop you dead, and then 500 to go the other way. If you balls it up, that's a lot of fuel. And there's a really good chance that you ain't got it on your little lander, even a big one like mine.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's you're playing with such fine margins.
Yeah, but what you really want is fucking... See, I don't even know which one of these bits of debris is actually my fucking rocket. That's the problem, I'm probably chasing the wrong bit. Maybe full debris, I actually don't know. Is there a way of finding out, isn't there? If I switch to that. Nope, this is the low. That's not the bit that I want. That's the little, the separation stage. Oh, you can't rename it either because it's... Right.
I'm doing a rebuild. The fucking lander is shit. Can you run the whole mission from a lander can?
What do you mean run the whole mission?
Can you fly from it like a command pod?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's what I'm doing on this. Anything that's in that command section you can run as the command bit of the ship. Any of the pods in that section. It's just the only difference between that little black one that's shaped like a cone and the lander and the actual the lander can is that the little cone shaped one has got the reaction wheels are more powerful.
That doesn't matter.
So I think the amount of electric charge it can store is the same. It's got room for one Kerbal. It's literally it's the fucking same. You know, it's just the lander can's a lot more useful and easier to build into an actual rocket.
Yeah.
Because you can put stuff above it without having to go down a size, which is what you have to do on the blooming thingy. On the little the black the black pod, whatever it's called.
Can you take off with a nuclear engine? You can't, can you?
See, the interesting thing about the nuclear engine is it's really not that powerful.
No, I know, but it's mega efficient, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing though. That's the whole selling point of that rocket is that it's mega efficient. But it's I don't think it's anywhere near powerful enough to get a rocket off the ground.
No.
I don't even know if you can ignite it in the atmosphere. I don't know if you can deal with that or not. I don't know.
The lander's a funny shape, isn't it? It's not quite the right.
What the can?
Yeah.
It's slightly oversized compared to other components that are on that format, of the 1.2 meter format. It's slightly oversized, but it's alright. It's not like it's mega.
But you've got to put a 2.5 meter heat shield on it, really.
No.
You put a 1.25 heat shield on it.
Wait, which one's the not the diddy little space probe one, but the one up from that? It's the same. It's basically the same size as the black one, the black can, the black pod.
Fucking then, well, the
Yeah.
the inner circle is, but all the bit around the outside is bigger.
But it's alright. It doesn't burn up.
So I can put a 1.25 meter heat shield on it, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I've done it before. I've just put a heat shield on the same 1.25 sized object, lower than it in the order.
I believe you.
I found out an interesting thing this evening, just from reading stuff on the internet, was that magnetic ferrofluid stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know that they invented that in 1963.
I didn't know that.
And do you know the reason? Do you know who invented it?
I feel like I've got half a chance of knowing this, but no, go on.
NASA. And do you know why they invented it?
No.
To use it for? What use they were going to use it for?
No.
Rocket fuel.
Really?
Because they were going to use it because in a zero gravity environment they could use magnets on the fuel pumps to attract the fuel to the pump.
My goodness, that is so fucking clever.
Because the only thing in that the ferrofluid is basically the magnetic particles are nanoparticles that are coated. So they coat these fucking nanoparticles in basically a buffer, and it's then so the nanoparticles and the buffer make up 15% of the fluid, and the rest of it is whatever you want it to be: water, oil, or fucking rocket fuel.
Oh, that's so cool, isn't it?
You just lose 15% of your volume as the magnetic stuff. But the thing that's the application of it that's even cooler than using it as fucking rocket fuel is using it as a coolant. But the brilliant thing about it is that using it as a coolant, you don't even have to have it touch what it's cooling.
Really?
Because you can I didn't know this, but I learned this this evening. You can transfer heat using magnetism.
No.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, so basically what they do is they use this fucking ferrofluid to cool voice coils in speakers.
Oh my goodness.
And the really cool bit, and this is the fucking icing on the top of the cake, right? Is that the magnetic ferrofluid stuff becomes less magnetic the hotter it gets. So when you use it to cool stuff,
It becomes less magnetic the hotter it gets.
so what do you get when you get temperature differentials? You get current. So it basically creates flow because the cooler liquid is more magnetic and gets attracted towards the thing that's the magnet, which is the thing that is hot, and creates your convection current for zero energy cost. It basically mimics a pump effect.
That's amazing.
It's literally, that blew my mind.
That's pretty cool.
Because you can cool anything as long as it's got a magnet in it to transfer the heat.
That's so weird. I didn't know heat could be transferred by magnetism.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds like bullshit to me. But apparently not. I was well impressed. I was even more impressed by the fact that you could actually use it to fucking magnetically attract fuel to fuel pumps in space. I was like, surely nothing can top that. The other thing that's really interesting...
Hang on, dude. How did you put stuff in your science bay?
Open it.
Yeah. It's just empty inside. How do you put something in it?
Because it's got attach points in the top and bottom inside it. So I usually fill the centre of it with the circular batteries, and then you can put stuff on the outside of the batteries.
What circular batteries? The little ones?
Yeah, the ones that they hold 200 charge.
Okay. Yeah.
The little round battery coils.
It's a clever idea.
Because it's an easy way to up your power level, because you don't have to have the batteries exposed. It keeps the batteries nice and safe, and gives you a radial mounting point for anything you want to put inside that little can. There's also a bigger version of the can as well. There's like a Rocco Max size one.
Is there an easy way of flipping these things?
What do you mean flipping it?
How do I flip it horizontally?
WASD to flip it around.
Yeah. Easy.
Yep.
Easy when you know how. Right, close that up. For fuck's sake, my lander already weighs 14 ton.
What? That's a one-way lander, is it?
I do tend to get quite heavy on the fuel, to be fair.
Yeah, we don't need it though. But what you should do is two-stage lander, because otherwise you're taking everything down to the surface and then having to launch it again.
Yeah. It's minimus though, so it doesn't matter too much. As long as...
No, if it's minimus, you'll be fine. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it was when I was going to what was it? Did I say Elu? Was it Elu? You got to think about the things of right. Okay, well, it's got an atmosphere, which means you can use parachutes on your lander.
Oh yeah, of course you can.
Which is why I went there instead of going to Duna.
I don't know that you... has Duna definitely not got a...
Pretty well. Maybe it didn't, but now it does. I don't know for sure. So. changed it or not, but I believe it didn't at the time. Because I know Duna's closer, but I can't think why I would have gone to Eluv instead of Duna otherwise.
It's fair.
Because it was my first extra Kerbin adventure, so to speak. I'm chasing this fight. I'm still chasing this second stage down. I've got it down to 30k away. 20k. 10k.
Skipper or main sails? Man, thrust on main sails is insane, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ridiculous actually.
But you don't actually need it all.
I got this down, so we got a 3.9 kilometre separation, and the relative speed difference, before we even started manoeuvring, the relative speed difference between me and the target is 6.6 meters a second.
Fair play. That's pretty impressive.
That's what's called spot on manoeuvring.
Oh, I want a science junior on this, but I feel like
Science juniors are surprisingly heavy, but not for your ship. But because I had a science junior on the top of that rocket, like that you saw me land.
should be able to get it on there.
Yeah, not too bad.
Just bang it on. See how she goes. Got RCS, I've got batteries, got a fuck ton of rockets, and then let's stick about 9 slingbacks on it. Three, 6, 9, 12 slingbacks should be enough. Oh mate, I love this game so much.
I'm really glad I started playing it again because I absolutely love it.
I forget how much I enjoy it and how much I get into it. I don't get into any other game. Like, I think it's because it's so taxing on the mind.
Yeah, like I was playing Mafia yesterday because I mentally couldn't face playing this.
You meant what?
I just meant I couldn't mentally
Oh,
face
right,
playing
yeah.
Kerbal. Like I was like, it's almost like too much like work in a way. But when I'm up to it, it's just so enjoyable. It's no game satisfies like this.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just not the same. You know, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna turn my broadcasting off if you're not